Cheryl. I'm from Minneapolis Community and Technical College in downtown Minneapolis, and I'm with...
Yeah, my name is Emily, and I'm from Minnesota State University, Mankato. So Cheryl and I are both from the Minnesota State system, which you can see on the screen here, that consists of all of these different colleges and universities, a mixture of, 30 colleges and 7 four-year universities. So Cheryl's going to start us off by talking about the 2-year options, then I'll talk about the 4-year options. Is it not working? Is it on? Maybe it died.
But you know, the reason that we're bringing that up is because some folks think that it's University of Minnesota and Min State, they're 2 separate entities. So we're talking about the Min State process, but you'll hear the U of M pop up from time to time. So yeah, as she was saying, 30 2-year schools around Minnesota, 7 universities, and over 3,000 programs within this system that you can choose from. So I'm going to just talk about 2-year schools and why you might consider starting at a 2-year and transferring to get a bachelor's degree if that's your end goal, or doing a 2-year and walking directly into the world of work. There's lots of different programs that you can earn a lot of good money to support yourself and your family. But we're here to get you there. That's our motto here at Minneapolis College, wherever there is. 2-year schools, you're going to find that they're affordable. We want you to get your degree without the loan debt on your back. So you'll see how we compare to other schools. We're talking about those that may want to transfer. These are part of the Minnesota transfer curriculum, so they can transfer to other schools. And because we're regionally accredited, you can transfer to the U of M or private schools like Augsburg or even out of state, okay? So we're transferable. Minneapolis College is one of the most diverse 2-year schools in the Minnesota State system. And we have small class sizes, so most 2-years are going to have, on average, between 24 and 28 students with award-winning faculty. Location, depending on where you're living, there will be a 2-year school near you. Some are called community colleges, some are called technical colleges. We have both general education classes and technical classes, so that's why we're called Minneapolis Community and Technical College. So just to explain what you can earn at a 2-year school. So an associate's degree, 2-year degree, is 60 credits of general education classes, what is called the Minnesota Transfer Curriculum. So that's, you're going to earn an Associate of Arts. Those students who earn that, they are going to transfer to a university, and they'll arrive most times as a junior there. Those that maybe study business, for example, it's an Associate of Science, where it still is 60 credits, but half of those credits are business foundational classes, or whatever the program is, and then the other half are general education classes. So you would transfer into a specific program, again, as a junior. But an Associate of Applied Science, think of IT, think of trades. Those are all technical classes with only about 15 credits of general education. These are the students that walk directly into the world of work, like our CNC machinists. While they're a student, earning about over $20 an hour as a student, as a paid intern, when they graduate, they're getting like $30 an hour starting wage here in the Twin Cities. So these are the different options. Like I said, you could get your 2-year AA and then transfer to a university like Mankato. But you can also transfer, like I said, U of M out of state. Most schools are going to have an academic advisor that's a specialist in that area. They're going to help you select classes and register for classes. But we have over 100 different programs at our school, so depending on your area of interest, you probably have something. And here, as we live in Minnesota, we're lucky because even if you are doing a 2-year, we've got lots of great employers that you can get work experience from. Now, some folks, they want to get a job, right? So they may need a certificate with specific training, but a short-term certificate, like maybe 1 semester or 2, like my son, he's a senior. This year, he's doing the pharmacy tech certificate, because he's saying if I wanna, or get a job, if I've gotta work anyway, I wanna earn some money while I'm doing it, some good money. So he got that short certificate and is able to work inside a pharmacy. So these are the other options at two-year schools that you'll find, short-term, 1, 2, 3 semesters. Now, this is, paying for college and financial reasons is the #1 reason that students don't go to school, and it's the #1 reason that they drop out. So being smart about getting your education could be by starting out at a 2-year, because this tuition that you're seeing here, $5,800, that is for a full-time student before financial aid. So you literally can come to our school for 2 years, and it's still less than 1 year at the U of M. That tuition is tuition only. So Mankato is between, their tuition is, Emily,
$9,000 for tuition at Mankato.
So you can see the Minnesota State, it has advantages to it. Now, if you're applying for FAFSA grants, think G for good, that's money that you can keep as long as you're keeping your grades up. You don't pay that back. We advise that you stay away from loans if you can and apply for scholarships. We have scholarships that are called last dollar scholarship, and that means that anything that your Pell Grant doesn't cover for your tuition, those scholarships will cover the rest of your tuition. So we have an honors program, a bridge program, and a Power View program. So different ways of paying for school, degree, no loan debt, that's what we're shooting for, right? So how to get started at a 2-year? We have an online application that's very straightforward. In fact, it takes less than 12 minutes to complete. We have a $20 application fee, but like Emily's going to tell you, the month of October is College Knowledge Month, and that's, now are most of you, anyone seniors in the house? Juniors? Okay. Rising seniors then, right? Okay. So in October, start applying for colleges. It will be free. Course placement used to be done by taking an AccuMuser test. For us, it's not that way anymore. We use your high school grade point average. That means anyone who graduates from high school or has a GED will be accepted to a 2-year school. Some schools may take your ACTs or SATs if you have it. And then you can register for classes. Now, I'm just showing this to you because TRIO is an organization that helps families apply to FAFSA for free. And they help you fill out college applications for any college, all right? So that's just, you might hear as you go through TRIO. They're a great resource. Yes, Emily.
Yes, hello. So again, my name is Emily, and I am a representative at Minnesota State University, Mankato. But today I'll be speaking kind of generally about all of the 4-year universities that are part of the Minnesota State system. So you can see some of our logos on the screen you might recognize. We have Southwest State University down in Marshall, Minnesota, in the southwest part of the state. St. Cloud, up northish, Bemidji, up even farther north. Winona State is down in southeast Minnesota. Moorhead is near Fargo. Mankato State, where I'm from, is about an hour 15 south in south central Minnesota. And then you have Metro State right here in the Twin Cities. So we talked a little bit about location and all the different things that you're going to be considering when you're selecting what school is going to be the best fit for you. And as Cheryl mentioned, both with our 2-year colleges, but also with the 7 universities, you have options really in many different areas of the state. So if you're someone who wants to stay in Minnesota, we have a variety of options for you there. And that is going to be an important part of your college decision search process. So start thinking about those things, how far away from home you want to be, that sort of stuff. A couple of things to consider. First of all, I guess, is go tour these colleges. Have any of you been on a campus tour before? Yeah, a couple of you? Awesome. That's the most important thing, the best thing that you can do, in my opinion, to see if a college or university is a good fit for you. We can come, which is great, and talk to you, and I'm so glad you came tonight, but really you being on our college campuses, I think will be the best indicator if you want to just feel it out and see if you can picture yourself being a student on that campus. Not only will you be a student on that campus, but you'll also be a member of that community or the city where the university is. So make sure that you take some time that day when you schedule the campus tour to also explore the city. It's really important. Size of campus might be a factor in your decision process, and I'm sorry if you already went to Stacy's Finding Your Fit, this is kind of repetitive, but do know that within our 7 universities, we range anywhere from 5,000 students up to the largest at Mankato State is 13,000 students. So even within the university system, though we are similar in many ways, there's also differences including our size. Student demographics, academic programs, and extracurricular opportunities are going to be big pieces of information for you to consider in terms of your student experience and of course your academic program that you're pursuing. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But also cost. Cheryl talked a lot about cost, which is probably one of the first things that pop in your mind when you think about college, rightly so. And I think at 2 years you're going to be looking at a little under $6,000 in tuition for the year. At the state universities, you're going to be looking around $9,000 for tuition for the entire academic year. Now, one of the things that will add on to that cost is if you choose to live on campus. Some universities will require that you live on campus for the first year, or maybe the first 2 years, or maybe all 4 years. Mankato, you never have to live on campus, although we recommend it. But do keep in mind that if you do choose to live on campus at a state university, that adds around $10,000. So total cost with tuition and housing and a meal plan and all that good stuff, you're looking at around $20,000 as a sticker price for that entire academic year. And it should go down from there based on scholarships and financial aid. So again, we are kind of a mid-range option between a 2-year and then University of Minnesota system and then the private schools. Admission requirements are also going to be pretty similar across the board for our state universities, and I'll talk about that more in a moment. So I know there's a lot of pressure put on students to figure out what they want to do as a career or with their lives while you're still in high school. And if you have an idea, that's really great. See if one of our universities offers it and go from there. But also know that at our universities, we offer a whole range of different majors. At Mankato State, we have over 130 bachelor's degrees that you can pursue. Our top 5 most popular majors are nursing, business, education, biology, and psychology. We are also very well known for kind of unique majors, including aviation. The engineerings aren't necessarily unique, but they're strong at Mankato. Dental hygiene, theater, law, law enforcement, all that good stuff. So a range of different programs that you're going to find at the state universities. Most of us also offer master's and doctoral programs. So if you are thinking you want to pursue that eventually, or parents, you want to come back and earn a higher degree, you can certainly do that at any of our state universities. I mentioned a little bit about the student experience. That's really going to be, the state university experience is going to be a really robust one in many different ways. I already talked a little bit about housing, but all the universities, with the exception of Metro State, have really awesome residential communities. We'll have different types of rooms and different ways that they look in terms of what the buildings offer. But check that out. If you are interested in having a great housing experience, the 4 years are definitely going to offer you that. This is one of the buildings on Mankato's campus. This is Prescott Residence Community. I lived there for 3 years. So keep that in mind. Housing is going to be a big factor. If you really want the great housing experience, a 4-year might be where you want to end up. Clubs and organizations as well. It can be one of the best parts of your college experience. Looking back at my college time at Mankato, I don't really remember my time in the classroom, but I do remember the hours I spent with my friends in clubs or volunteering. We have everything from clubs that will be related to your major, to student government, special interest groups, club and intramural sports, sororities and fraternities, all the good stuff that's going to make your college years memorable. And athletics will be big too at our state universities. Across all of our universities, we mostly have D2 athletic teams. Hockey is D1. I'm still a little sad about Mankato's hockey last. Sorry about that. Hope she could have pulled through, but we were the #1 Minnesota team, so that's good. But Mankato, St. Cloud, and Bemidji, I believe, are the 3 D1 hockey teams in the Minnesota state system. And diversity and inclusion as well. All of our state universities, and especially Mankato, I know, really values students of every culture and background, and so we have plenty of resources available for our students. A couple of them listed on the screen for you there. But just know that at a robust, comprehensive university like The Minnesota State ones, you're going to find students who are similar to you in their different identities and interests that you have, but also people who are different than you that you can learn from and meet. So shifting gears a little bit to talk about the application and admission process, the information that I have here on the screen is specific to Mankato State, but like I said, it's going to be similar, if not identical, at the other state universities. So the first thing you'll do is submit an application. Fall of your senior year is the best time to submit applications, and like Cheryl said, October in the Minnesota State system is free application month. So whereas we typically have a $20 application fee, it'll be free to apply in October. After that, we just need your high school transcripts and your ACT score. If you want to send it to us, you don't have to. All the state universities are test optional moving forward. You won't be disadvantaged either way if you send it or don't send it. But that's all we need for the initial application. We are not looking for essays or letters of recommendation. In fact, what we'll do is we'll look at your high school transcript and your test score if you send it, and we'll look to see if you meet any of these automatic admission criteria. If you meet one of these, you'd be guaranteed acceptance to Mankato and the other universities, and you'd be accepted within 2 weeks of applying. We work on a very quick rolling admission system. We don't have the things like early decision, early action. We're just always open. We'll admit you as soon as we can. There's no like big decision day because we want to get that information to you. But again, a 3.0 cumulative GPA, or class rank in the top 50% of your class, or a 21 ACT composite score with at least a 2.7 GPA. One of those guarantees you acceptance. This is at the end of your junior year or any time throughout your senior year. Like I said, we all work on a rolling admission system, so your application will be open all throughout your senior year. Please do not wait that long. Fall, this is your senior year is when you should really submit applications, but we are rolling admissions. Questions on that?
When you say, so you just, when the slots are full, they're full, so sooner is better?
So yeah, with the state universities, we don't have really a capacity either, and so we don't have a waitlist system. Yeah, we don't do like rounds of, I'm not even really familiar, but I think like the U of M and some other schools have like an early decision. So if you apply by this deadline, you'll know by this date. And if you miss that, then you'll know later, right? We don't have any of that sort of structure. We just, when you apply, you'll know within 2 weeks. And it's open all throughout your senior year.
For students who want to live on campus, is that a reason to apply early?
Yes, absolutely. There's lots of reasons to apply early. First, you can just know you're accepted, and that's a good feeling. But also, other things like housing, scholarships, those will sneak up on you. Our housing application is first come, first pick. We never usually run out of housing for first year students, but that opens in October too. And you have to be accepted in order to submit a housing application. So yeah, there are a lot of reasons to get this done early. But the rolling term means that we don't have those early decision deadlines, and the application is open all throughout your senior year. Thank you for your question. Anything else about this? Okay, if you are going to go to a 2-year first, which is a really great option, especially if you want to save money, maybe live at home for a little longer, just keep in mind that first, if you earn an associate's degree, you'll be accepted no matter what. If you haven't quite earned an associate's degree, maybe you've taken 1 or 1.5 years or even half a year. If you have 24 or more credits, it gets kind of technical here, we'll look to see you have a 2.0 GPA, so let's go say you go to MCTC for a year. If you have at least a 2.0, we'll accept you as a transfer student. If you only went there for a semester, maybe you only earned 10 credits or something like that, then we'll look back on your high school information. But do know that it's a pretty simple process as well to be accepted as a transfer student. And so we talked about these automatic admissions. If you don't meet one of those, we'll always review you comprehensively through our appeal process as well. So if you don't meet one, if you meet one of those, great, you're guaranteed acceptance. If you don't, we will still review you. That's when you'll submit an essay and a personal statement, a letter of recommendation. Okay, so that was the admission requirements. I'm going to kind of transition back to what Cheryl was talking about. But if you do plan to transfer, kind of how your transfer credits come in from the state university side of things. There's a lot of words, I apologize for that. But if you earn an Associate of Science or an Associate of Arts, those 60 credits that you earned are guaranteed to transfer in. and it's likely that you'll have 2 or so years to finish the bachelor's degree with us. If you earn an Associate of Science or an Associate of Arts with following a Minnesota State transfer pathway, meaning you're coming specifically from a 2-year school in the Minnesota State system, and you've worked with your academic advisor to pursue a pathway, it will be guaranteed a seamless transition, 2 years at a community or technical college and 2 years at the state university. No questions. If you earn one of those more technical degrees, that's great. You're probably going to go into the workforce a little faster, but if you did decide to come earn your bachelor's degree, it might take you a little longer because you're not earning as many general education, so you'd have to do that with us. But we will accept 16 of those technical courses as elective credits. The other important thing I want to be sure to mention is that if you are earning any college level credit, anything, through any program while you're still in high school, we will certainly evaluate those and award you credit for your college credit count. So whether that's AP or IB, PSEO, concurrent enrollment, CIS, college and schools, any college level anything, we will evaluate that for you. So we were talking with the last group. Sounds like some Washburn students do PSEO at MCTC or Normandale. That's a good chance to earn some free college credits. Those tuition for those credits is covered by the state. So that's a great opportunity. Do know that the grade you earn in that class, even if you're taking it in high school, is going to be on your college transcript. So you want to make sure that you'll have the time and resources to dedicate to doing well in that class. But it can save you time and money in the long run. My last thing I wanted to share with you is just a couple tips that I'm sure you know or you've heard already from other folks tonight. But do your research. Thank you for coming tonight. This is a great step in the research process. Check out our websites or any websites of colleges that you're interested in. There's a lot of information on there, so much so that it can be confusing to find exactly what you're looking for. So you can always reach out to the college staff to help you find anything or a contact to reach out to with your specific question. I mentioned this before, but definitely come down to campus or up to campus for a college tour. I think that's really the most important thing that you can do. A lot of us do have virtual tours available too, so if you want to check out what campus looks like without the commitment of making the drive, a lot of us have videos or interactive tours on our website. A big tip for the students especially is to check your email, please. It's really important. Most colleges communicate primarily through email, and emails get cluttered, I know that, but we communicate important information like scholarship offers, deadlines if schools do have deadlines, through that email. You don't want to be missing that. And finally, ask questions to your high school resources and counselors here. They are so helpful, but also feel free to reach out to the colleges as well. It's our job as admissions advisors to help you get the information that you need in order to see what university or college or route or whatever is the best fit for you. Okay. Do any of you have any questions for Cheryl or I about 2 years or 4 years or college in general?
So, when should you start taking all the emails that colleges send you more seriously? Because I've been getting a ton.
That's a great question. Yeah, so there's these things called college fairs, I know that we work at, and you probably sign up for like 30 different schools' emails.
So my son, he's bombarded with it, and so it depends on if you have your top 3 to 5 schools, right? Top 3 to 5 schools, make a list and say when is their deadlines, right? And their housing deadlines, and just kind of keep your eye on those dates, and then start looking at those emails. And if they have a text opt-in, that's another way of with your top 2 schools to communicate with, but you can drown in it for sure. It can be overwhelming and even a deterrent. So I just recommend, if you're still bouncing around in the dark, you're not exactly sure where you want to go from time to time, you can see what's up with them. Otherwise, if you choose 5 that are the location, the price, and have the programs that you're interested in, just follow them from time to time.
If you've decided that you're no longer interested in a school, let us know so that we stop bothering you.
You can opt out, I think, on those emails at the bottom of the emails, but yeah.
But if you are still interested in 50 schools, I would say fall of your summer end of summer before your senior year, that's when it's gonna be like, hey, your application is opening and that sort of stuff. Good question. On behalf of colleges, I'm sorry for the amount of emails that we send out. It's ridiculous. Yeah, good question. Anything else?